would be conducted in English for natural reasons, for better communication, and language is never the barrier. Vibrations are all transformed in our own way. So I would request all the panelists, as we did this morning, 2 minutes, you all would introduce yourself and the skill set and the background you come from. We will largely look at this session and followed by Q&As where at least 10 people would get to ask questions and we will not hurdle anyone back there. The topic is about temples from southern India. When we are across the country, every temple has its own policy, every temple has its own operational aspect, every temple has its own format. And when we talk about temples, these temples have got its own ways to conduct their ongoing working possibilities. There are temples who are privately managed, there are temples managed by the endowment board, there are temples managed by families or dikshitars or communities which are conducting it for a very long time. I have some eminent people here, right from Shri Algappanji to Dikshitarji from the Chidambaram temple. Very famous face that you see on the Republic TV and so on, fighting the spirit of Shabrimala and beyond, Rahul Ishwarji. We have Shri Rajeji talking about the Virupaksha Devasthan as well as the Hampi temple, if I'm right. And we have a dynamic phrase from Tamil Nadu talking about temples in Tamil Nadu. So I'm going to quickly leave you all with a 2-minute introduction about what your journey has been on this temple journey for now. And then we talk about certain issues which are largely been faced in temples in your region. And I understand everyone comes from various states here. So how primarily can that be addressed? To you, Mr. Algappan.
I am Aragappan, President of Thiruvannamalai Nagarathar Ubhayatharargal Kulu. I have done about 20, Lord has done about 28 Kumbhabhishekam in which he has asked me to head that. And we have made a lot of renovations of the temples also. Apart from that, I've got 23 trusts, and in all the 23 trust I'm either a secretary or a treasurer or a president. And we do involve in all the religious activities. Even this Chidambaram problem came, I am the one who went, I was directed by my Lord to go there and help them. That is the main thing. So everything I do, it's only I put it to Annamalayar and he does it and not me. So that is the short note on me. I don't have much to say.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Krubha Samudram Sumugam Trinetram Jadadaram Parvati Vamabhagam Sada Shivam Rudramanandarovam Shivachidambaresam Kritibhavayami. My Secretary of Poti Dikshitar, the Nataraja Temple Chidambaram.
Haji, Ishwarji.
Even though I was introduced as a social activist, the better word is I'm a Hindu activist. I'm a Hindu activist who takes up temple causes and fights for Hindu causes. I was, perhaps the best thing that I have done in my life is I was in jail for 20 days fighting the Shabrimala agitation. The first person to be arrested was my 86-year-old grandmother, Devagi Andarjana. The second person to be arrested was my mother, Malliga Nampudri, who came along with me. So when I was jailed, I was telling Giresh, my wife Deepa literally took a long leave to argue on behalf of me in channels regarding Shabrimala. I basically believe my simple contention in this is temples. I know I love the idea of temple connect because all the temples needs to be better interconnected, have better understanding of each other, connect to each other, build a good temple ecosystem so that we can inspire, teach our next generations for better Hindu practices, understanding of the temple culture, and radiate the well-being of the temples. So I believe it's a great privilege coming to the holy city of Kashi and understanding Temple Connect. May your tribe grow and may your tribe really support our entire Hindu edifice. Thank you.
सभी को नमस्कार, हर हर महादेव। मैं महेश राजे इन हम्पी विरूपाक्ष टेम्पल हम्पी संस्थानम के लीगल मैटर्स देखता हूँ और ये 7th सेंचुरी का से टेम्पल है। या हम पूरे हम्पी संस्थान को विजयनगर राज ने स्थापित किया है और ये हम्पी पीठाधिपति विजयनगर एम्पायर के राजगुरु है और ये जाना जाता है, फेमस है ये वास्तु के लिए, आर्किटेक्चर के लिए, साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी के लिए और हिस्ट्री के लिए। आप रामायण में हम्पी का स्थान देख सकते हैं, ये किष्किंधा है और हनुमान का जन्म वहीं हुआ है। तो इसीलिए आप इस माध्यम से आप सभी को मैं हम्पी आने के लिए भी आमंत्रित करता हूँ और गिरीश जी को इस टेम्पल कनेक्ट के माध्यम से जिस सभी लोगों को एकत्रित किया है उसके लिए मुझे भी आज मौका मिला है आप सबसे बात करने का और इसके लिए मैं धन्यवाद देता हूँ।
धन्यवाद।
राम 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 राम, सबको प्रणाम, राम राम। मैं हिंदी में बात कर रहा हूँ। हाँ जी, एक्चुअली टेम्पल कनेक्ट है जी। मैं वीपीवी युगा मूर्ति में पुराना मंदिर को स्थापित पे हम लोग काम कर रहा है। हिंदू मंदिर के लिए, हिंदू धर्म के लिए, सनातन धर्म के लिए कहाँ पे मौका मिलेगा, कहाँ पे चाहिए, उसी वक्त हम लोग आवाज़ उठाता है। मेरा बड़ा निवेदन है, हमारा तमिल का सबसे बड़ा, दुनिया से सबसे बड़ा तमिल लोग आ गया है, उन लोग के सबके वणक्कम। मैं एक छोटा सा चीज़ बताने के जा रहा हूँ, मेरा मौका मिलने के टाइम वो टेम्पल को कैसे हम रिवाइव कर सकता है, उसी के बारे में मैं 2 शब्द पर मेरा मौका टाइम मिलने के टाइम बता दूंगा। कब तक, राम राम।
धन्यवाद। सो मुझे एक सवाल पूछना है, लेट अस गेट डायरेक्टली टू द पॉइंट। राहुल जी, आप मुझे एक बात बताइए, आप टेलीविज़न पे उस दिन थे और मैंने दीक्षितार जी से भी बात की अलगप्पन जी के माध्यम से। ये जो चिदम्बरम का विषय है, ये चिदम्बरम मंदिर के चलते जो विषय लोगों तक तो पहुंच रहा है बट वो डाइल्यूट होके पहुंच रहा है, तो क्या ओवरव्यू है और किस तरीके से आप इस विषय को प्रेजेंट करते हैं और क्या इशू है जो लोगों को इस माध्यम से लोगों तक पहुंचना चाहिए?
First of all, thank you to Dikshidharji and all the entire family and his entire ecosystem for fighting for Hindu cause. Because what you are doing is a great fight for us. I don't know how many of you know the state government.
We can clap for Dikshitarji and the
Absolutely,
Chidambaram temple.
Absolutely. I was so overwhelmed to see him. Rather, we were talking about him when he entered, which we believe is a God's omen. See, the point is, government, whichever government it be, beyond left or right, the government is doing an atrocity by invading in the temple. See, just like our Christian brothers can have the right over church, we Hindus don't have that right over our temples, is a reality. We shouldn't shy away from saying this. This is an absolute reality that the British left India in 1947, but still temples don't have freedom to function. India got freedom, but our temples didn't have freedom. And if I can just quote one thing which will be similar to Dikshidharji, let me quote from history. Back in 1812, nearly 213 or 211 years back, it was Colonel Munro from Scotland, I'm telling about Kerala's case, he took over overnight 348 temples, major temples, 1,171 smaller shrines, 62,000 gardens, and 63,500 acres of cultivatable land. And in the name of administrating it better. This is the same strategy used by politicians of today. Thousands of temples were taken away from us by British because they want to divide Hindus and have their hold in a very strong way. And today, unfortunately, the so-called secular governments of the day, whether it is in Tamil Nadu, whether it is in Kerala, in the name of administration tells us, we will administer it better, so you give it to us. And before giving to Dikshidharji, I'll tell one more pain point that we experienced when we were fighting for Shabarimala. My grandfather was the senior Tantri or the supreme priest of Shabarimala. The Devasam board, which is supposed to protect the temple, was ruled by the communist government. They were taking money from the Devasam to argue against the very own temple they are supposed to protect.
There is this case of Shabrimala fund used against Shabrimala fund. That is some issue that.
Exactly. See, please remember this. This is the irony. I'm not telling this is used for other purposes. The Kerala state government, which is appointing Devasam board, ruled by the leftists, were taking, obviously they can take money because they are authorized to take money because it is ruled by them. The very Shabrimala they are supposed to protect the interest in the court, they were taking money and arguing against the very temple they were supposed to protect. We were running short of funds. I wanted to engage people like, say, Harish Salve or some senior people. I spoke to my grandfather. He said, we don't have enough money to engage such senior lawyers. Thankfully, organizations like NSS, Pujaniya Sarsang Chalak supported in a big way. PM Modi ji supported in a big way. That's how the 4-1 Supreme Court verdict was in effect reversed because the Hindu devotees of Shabrimala stood strong in our ground. And the first time in independent India that a 4-1 Supreme Court verdict, the court was magnanimous enough to take it back. So my only contention, submission to him, stand strong. The entire Hindu community, even though we are a bit disunited, we will come together and your fight will win and you are fighting for all of us. Pranam.
You'd want to say something on this? Or there is someone who can do the job of translating here from, there was a gentleman who'd come on your behalf where please, one person who would translate what Dikshidhar ji is speaking in English or Hindi. Can we have another chair here, please? So, till the time he's here and settled, what is extremely important is as whenever there's a need of support system, as Param Pujya as well as the Prime Minister and the other set of people who have gathered together to help the Shabrimala initiative, I'm sure बुरा समय ना किसी पे आए पर अगर आता है तो हम साथ में हैं is the larger side of the story. So I think to that note, I would leave it to you. Let sir speak in.
Yeah. Actually, as a matter of fact, ours is a micro-minority clan present one and only in Chidambaram. And we have been the custodians of the temple in terms of administration, in terms of ritualistic management, in terms of night watch, everything since time immemorial. And we have also been protected by Article 26 of the Constitution. And we have got our own bylaws that have been, that have been documented as early as 1880s in the court of law. It has been all well established. In spite of that, we have also got a ruling judgment delivered by the Apex Court of India in 2014. But against all these facts in favor of us, the government is playing a naughty role of late. And that has to be curtailed in order to protect this very micro community whose population is very, very less to the number of around 1,200 altogether confined to only Chidambaram. Unlike other priestly class over the entire country. And in that way, this forum has to create such awareness and has to address to the authorities, has to present to the ablest authorities like our PM, etc., in order to safeguard us. See, as of now, we are aware of even the population of tiger has been increased by Project Tiger as early as 72. But our population is only half or even 1/4 of the tiger population in India.
Sir, so my question is, from this forum and from this initiative, primarily Chidambaram temple is a very important temple across the country and the world. What is exactly that you seek to go out to the Honorable Prime Minister and the other dignitaries of the country, that what exactly is the issue and what is to be handheld for the Chidambaram temple?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we are having an intangible cultural heritage. So as governed by UNESCO, in every country that has to be protected. Even what we call aborigines, they have got their own culture. So in every country, there are certain people, there are certain primitive people who have to be promoted, who have to be nurtured, who have to be protected, so as to maintain their intangible cultural heritage. And that has not been the case in Tamil Nadu. Even though we are very least in number and we have been the only community having settled in a single place for the last 2 millennia, having got the only business of maintaining the temple, taking care of the temple, taking care of the gods, since the gods are closely coexisting as per our own community. As per the legend it goes, we and Lord Nataraja are one and the same, as the legend it goes. So in that way, the government will have a strategy, will have to devise certain schemes in order to protect this cultural identity of our country, rather than trying to decimate the community, rather than trying to destroy the temple originality, etc., etc.
See, the way we have an issue primarily, so we've seen the fact that a lot many.
Excuse me, 1 minute. This issue came, and immediately we met. I took them to our finance minister when she was at Chennai. And when they said what are all the problems they discussed, she went to Delhi, called the Home Ministry, and there was a call from the Home Ministry. After that, before meeting the FM, there was a say that about 30 to 40 EOs are going to come and take over the temple, that, this and all. Even the HRNC minister himself has told that in a press meet. After FM's intervention, that is temporarily, they have taken it back.
A big round of applause for our Honorable Finance Minister. Her initiative led to helping the scenario in a better way.
So, but it is a temporary one. We have to do certain things in a pakka manner, for which even Sosumaya last time told this temple connect should come and should be conducted in Tamil Nadu. Even my request is to Kulkarni ji for this. And we have to make a convention there, and we have to gather many more peoples, which we are also interested. And we will welcome you all. And for this, even I would like to participate in it in a small manner.
Very much. Thank you very much. Primarily, when we talk about the temples and the issues, temples down south have got a very different pattern. When we have endowment boards, when we have there were some boards and variety of these setups driving these initiatives. Karnataka as a state primarily, there is enough pattern of stuff. I understand that at Hampi, there is a large issue that you've been fighting for a long period.
Yes.
Can you elaborate an overview and educate us? Because what is very important at this forum is when we speak to each other, most of the people will come up with a similar scenario. हमारे यहाँ पे भी वही सब चल रहा है, या हमारे यहाँ पे भी यही दिक्कत हो रही है. So why we meet and why we discuss is because together, as a bunch of strong representation, we can address the matter together and in shorter period of time get the right justice as necessary.
Giresh, that is what was running in my mind. When I came here, I was also discussing with Rahul ji. That there should be a forum, and Temple Connect is the right forum because after coming here, I also came to know that not only Hampi, there are many, many temples which are suffering from the ASI, from the endowments, and in our case, it's Hampi Development Authority and the State Archaeological Departments. Because of these endowments, we are not able to construct any monument or ASI as well. Because Hampi Swamiji has got many devotees all over the world. They can't come, he cannot accommodate them, nor there are any basic amenities. Being Hampi being in the history doesn't have any amenities because of the ASI guidelines. Any structure which is to be constructed in that area, they don't allow, but at the same time, whenever they want, they try to construct and violate the same very rules which are applicable to us. That apart, I failed to understand, that also was discussing with Rahul ji when we met, that how can a living temple be termed as a monument? Because we do prana pratishtha, they are living temples. So how an ASI can take over? That is the first thing which I have been objecting, and our Samsthanam has been objecting, and we have been running from pillar to post to see that we don't fall under ASI, explaining them that this is the scenario, because it is not a monument and it is a living temple. Yet we are made to suffer, as Temple Connect is the forum which I want you all to be all the representations and carry it to the higher authorities, because from Hampi or from minor places, can't keep running to Delhi all the time and do the work. So that is also a problem for us. And Swamijis are here to give guidance to us and profess Hinduism or run around the governments. That is a problem.
See, one of the larger things which I am seeing this, and in presence of Gaurang Prabhuji here, is primarily that, Prabhuji, what is very important is everyone is restricted to resources is one. When I say resources, it's not only about financial resources, but it's also about where talent is involved at a greater level. An extension, as we spoke, and I can take the freedom to say so, that when I spoke to Gaurang Prabhuji personally, he said that we are open to holding hands beyond any limitation, and however we can, contribute in any aspect. And the greatest talent of the country, as involved with various organizations the way it is. So I appeal to all the possible people here at this forum primarily, is that don't hold yourself back in two areas. One area is where you have a talent which you can see that can be complementing these areas. And when you look at their resources, which can complement yours. Because हमारा समय कब अच्छा रहेगा और कब गलत हो सकता है is not in our control. So it is important that we do our job of stepping ahead, participating, engaging, and helping each other, because this is one community. This is one system. This is one way of us working together. Ishwarji, you had something to say.
ये मामला आपको सबको पता है, टीवी में चलते रहता था। वो अय्यप्पा स्वामी के बारे में टीवी में चल रहा था। हमारा सनातन धर्म में कमी क्या है पता है सर आपका? किसी को एकता नहीं, मतलब यूनिटी नहीं हमारा साथ।
तो वो कल तक था, आज हो गया।
अभी बढ़िया है सर, इसलिए हम लोग बोल रहा है जय श्री राम।
जय श्री राम।
मगर आप एक छोटी सी बात है, कड़वा भी लगेगा। हमारा हजारों साल की पुरानी की मंदिर को वो लोग तोड़ दिया है। आपको भी सामने आपको सबको पता है, हिस्ट्री पता है। अभी भी वो चालू चल रहा है। वैसा एक दिन आना चाहिए, कोई भी मंदिर को कुछ नुकसान होएगा, कोई कुछ ना कुछ दिक्कत हो जाएगा, सारा हिंदू मंदिर एक इकट्ठा होना चाहिए, सारा हिंदू एक साथ होना चाहिए। अभी 700 मंदिर आ गया है,
जय श्री राम।
700-800 मंदिर आ गया, हजारों मंदिर आ गया। अभी गिरीश जी ने बता दिया 40,000 मंदिर है तमिलनाडु के अंदर। किसी को साथ किसी कम्युनिकेशन नहीं। वो चिदम्बरम टीचर का कुछ इशू चल रहा है, किसी को भी हम सपोर्ट नहीं दे रहा है। अभी वैसा दिन आना चाहिए। किसी और का दूसरा का बता रहा हूं, उसको एक किताब है, किताब में थोड़ा सा एक पेज काट लिया है, कितना हंगामा कर रहा है सर। हजारों साल की पुरानी मंदिर के तोड़ रहा है, हम कुछ नहीं कह पा रहा है, लेकिन एक छोटा सा किताब भी डैमेज हो रहा है। वर्ल्ड पूरा, दुनिया पूरा एक आवाज उठा रहा है, लेकिन हिंदू के लिए एक आवाज नहीं मिल रहा है। अलग अलग तरीके से हम आवाज उठा रहे हैं। इसके लिए हमको पहले चाहिए। अभी गिरीश जी ने एक छोटा सा इनिशिएटिव लिया है, टेम्पल कनेक्ट। अभी इतना टेम्पल है ना, हम एक साथ होना चाहिए। अभी कितना लोग आ गया है, एक संकल्प ले लीजिए। हमारा 700 मंदिर को 800 मंदिर अभी आ गया है, उनको कोई दिक्कत होएगा, हम सब साथ में हम लड़ाई करेंगे। हम आपका साथ में। आपके एक दूसरी कनेक्ट में बता दूंगा। लोग बोलता है, नॉर्थ का लोग क्या बोलता है, हमको रामेश्वरम देखना है, बोलता है ना जी, आप बोलते हैं ना रामेश्वरम देखना है। साउथ का लोग बोलता है काशी देखना है। ये कनेक्ट होता है। दिल की कनेक्ट होती है, इमोशन कनेक्ट होती है, ये टूरिज्म कनेक्ट होती है। मैं यहाँ 700 मंदिर लोग आ गया है, मैं सबको मैं निवेदन करूँगा, गिरीश से भी निवेदन करूँगा। सर पहले साउथ इंडिया का बड़ा बड़ा मंदिर है, वो मैयप्पन साहब है, उनका पता है। वो मंदिर के लिए हमारा पुजारी लोग को, हमारा ट्रस्टी लोग को एक बार लेके आइए, हम लोग साथ में हैं। एक बहुत बड़ा ये कनेक्शन वहाँ से मिल जाएगा। हमारा मंदिर देख लीजिए, हमारा लाइफस्टाइल देख लीजिए। आप रामेश्वरम आइए, मदुरई आ जाइए, सब लोग का हम लोग निवेदन करेंगे। आप टेम्पल कनेक्ट वहाँ से शुरुआत करेंगे, ये बात करके ये क्लास का मतलब हम लोग वापस नहीं जाने वाले। ये एक बहुत बड़ा प्लेटफॉर्म से हम लोग सबको कनेक्ट करवा दीजिए। गिरीश जी, ये मंदिर कितना लोग आ गया, सबको हम कनेक्ट होना चाहिए।
यहाँ पे मैंने आपको एक बात बता रहा हूँ कि यहाँ पे सबसे पहले धन्यवाद, आपका इनपुट वेरी वेल वैलिड है। मैं एक सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट बात करना चाह रहा हूँ यहाँ पे कि यहाँ पे क्यों हम 3 दिन यहाँ पे दे रहे हैं। ठीक है, बहुत सारे लोग हैं, मैं हमारे खजराना मंदिर के जो आचार्य जी हैं उनसे भी बात कर रहा था। तो वो विषय है कि हर एक जन अपने अपने परिसर में का बहुत बड़ा व्यक्ति है, ठीक है ना, बट सभी जन एकात्रित पद्धति से एक बहुत बड़ा ये जो यहाँ पे जो गैदरिंग है ना, अगर एंटायर टेम्पल इकोसिस्टम का वैल्यू $40 बिलियन है तो कम से कम 10-15 बिलियन डॉलर के लोग यहाँ पे बैठे हुए हैं। तो ये जो सब विषय है या ये जो सारा एक्टिविटी है, इसको एनहांस करना कोई अकेले का काम नहीं है। आप आपके परिसर में आपके आजू बाजू के 50 मंदिर जोड़ो, और वो जो हम मल्टी लेवल मार्केटिंग वाला देखते हैं कि एक दूसरे को जोड़ता है, तो उसमें तो कमर्शियल एक्टिविटी, इसमें तो स्वार्थ खुद का है कि हमारा धर्म बड़ा हो, हमारा जो एक परिचय है लोगों तक पहुँचे, और हमारी जो विशेषताएं हैं वो लोगों तक पहुँचे। तो सबसे पहले तो ये जो सारे इनपुट्स हैं। दूसरी बात ये है कि आप जो इनपुट्स दे रहे हो या आप जो इनपुट्स अभी आप में ज़्यादातर सेशन में मैं आपको इंटरेक्ट करना चाहूँगा ऑन अ Q&A लेवल फ्रॉम आफ्टर वी सम अप सर्टेन पॉइंट्स कि किस प्रकार से आप वैल्यू कर सकते हो। मांगना तो हम लोग समझ ही लेंगे कि हमको ये मदद चाहिए, हम ये करना चाहते हैं। आप क्या वैल्यू ऐड कर सकते हो, इस पे भी हम Q&A सेशन में बात करेंगे। ईश्वरन जी, एक मिनट ईश्वरन जी।
Just to one thing to add to Chidambaram temple itself, 2014 January 6, Supreme Court gave a verdict in favor of them. But right now, Tamil Nadu Minister Mr. Shekhar openly says there is nothing hiding. We are trying to bring the temple under our control. It's being openly said by him. See, against a specific Supreme Court order which categorically gave them the supremacy, see, this is the arrogant attitude. And they will tell different names. Of course, they will use different words. They will file fake cases. They will file wrong cases because they have the power. That's how Temple Connect can really support people, create legal awareness too. And that legal awareness is very important. Article 25 and 26 gives us a lot of rights. All the other communities use it to their good advantage. Whether they are our Christian brothers or Muslim brothers or other community, they all use it. But we don't know how to use it. Is a very unfortunate thing.
I think with that note, with Mr. Raje and other eminent, there are a lot of lawyers and other eminent people sitting out there who have been taking care of. I had a huge group of Maharashtra who have been on trusts and eminent people on the side. Why can not there be a see? I'm a platform. I'm not someone, nor I'm a temple runner or operator or whatsoever it is. I have the minusculest experience in operations of knowledge about temples. But one thing's for sure is my intent is in place. My intent has been in place to get such a thing in place. Our chairman, Shri Prasad Ladji, has been the silent, silent spine in making this entire event happen. Why cannot all the eminent people from various temples and other places come together and create a very strong legal interface? I don't know, whatever you can be called. And that legal interface would help each other rather than showing the empowerment of मैं कितना ज़्यादा समझता हूँ या आप कितने कम समझते हो. It's better we add value together. If you agree to it, we can have a round of applause for that.
I think
In line with
Giresh ji,
Yomurthy sir's message, I would like to appeal to all of these temple managing trustees and other body members present over here that seeing is believing. So as Sarah has told, you have to go from pillar to post to see various temples, including our own Chidambaram Nataraja temple, because we have got something very unique and unparalleled with respect to any other temples in India in terms of the management. say, can you name any single temple without Hundial installed? You cannot. So can you name any temple, single temple without having had inputs from say the state government or bodies like ASA, etc.? No. Ours is that we don't have Hundial at all, that is no Dan Patra installed, and we don't receive any grant from the government, since we are not under the government of Tamil Nadu, and we don't receive grant from the bodies like ASI, but still the temple is sprawled over 40 acres of land, and it has, that is why I am telling that seeing is believing, that you people should ponder over, and you have to get a takeaway from this forum by planning a visit to a temple. Thereby you will have some nuances to be learnt in terms of better administration by your own means, nothing but the decentralization, nothing but encouraging the devotees to take part on endowment basis. That is how we drive, since we have been driving since time immemorial.
All right, so I think with that note, I'll need to sum this up for a simple reason. I'll just sum this up. For a simple reason, because Shri, one of the most important sessions beyond us, because we are one family and there is no grey area amongst us. Vishal Singh ji from Ayodhya Ram Mandir is here, and he, being a government official, apparently there are some more set of scenarios. So we are all available for a Q&A and a discussion. With having said that, I would also do the job of felicitating y'all after Vishal Singh ji's session is done, because ghar mein formality nahi hoti hai, and that's the way it is. So on that note, I'll have to just wind this session up, and looking forward for the journey of Ayodhya Ram Mandir, everything that we have looked up at Ayodhya and the way things are coming up. So on that note, I sum this session up. I thank you all for joining me for this scenario. Yeah.
But give me a time, because Swamiji has given me a message. I would just like to read that for you.
You can quickly read it and we just wind it up.
My friend was saying
Sir.
regard to this, yes, I'm just opening that.
So otherwise, what I can also do is that, if that's an issue, I'll give you another slot after this session, only for you to read out the message. So
I'll do that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. A big round of applause for this gathering.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Kulkarni, Lord, everyone. Thank you.
दोस्तों एक बार जोरदार तालियां हो जाए।
There's a gentleman who was translating things for us. Please come up, sir. No, please. Sir, please come up. Just make it quick. One big round of applause for everyone. Thank you very much. Once again, we're just joining by this gentleman. Sorry, I missed your good name, sir. Please come.
दोस्तों जोरदार तालियां हो जाए, बहुत शांति है।